We head to Rwanda, where about 2 months before the commemoration of the 26th genocide against the Tutsi, teachers in Rwanda are educating themselves on the history of the incident. Teachers in secondary schools in different parts of the country spend about 3 days learning the history of the genocide in Rwanda to be able to do their jobs. The teachers say the information is important as they struggle to teach the history they also didn't know correctly. Details of that in this report.
Teachers in secondary schools in different parts of the country have spent about 3 days learning about the history of the genocide against the Tutsis in Rwanda, as well as the Jewish genocide. The teachers say the information is important as they struggle teaching the history they also didn't know correctly.
Hari igihe twajyaga tugira nk'ipfunwe ryo kuvuga ibyabaye bitewe wenda n'abana.
There are times we were embarrassed of talking about what happened because we teach children who come from both survivor families and perpetrator families, and you fail to get a proper way to address it because you are trying to avoid hurting some students or even yourself having been affected by the history, and you get caught in emotions in front of your students.
Nk'ibintu bya emotion nagaragaza imbere y'abana.
One of the historians of the genocide against the Jews, Kate Wekesser, says genocide education requires attention and comprehension.
So we've been working on Holocaust education. We have been doing lessons on the 94 genocide against the Tutsis. We spoke with one of our partner teachers in Bosnia, and she shared how she teaches about the Holocaust in Bosnia. And generally hearing what Rwandan teachers have to say about their own experiences in the classroom. What are they facing? What questions they have about how to do this kind of education, this difficult content, with sensitivity and thinking about families, communities, their school, their context, what's best suited for meeting the best goals that they have.
The director of Aegis Trust in charge of Kigali Genocide Memorial, Fredy Mutanguha, explained that educating teachers on the history of the genocide is a positive. The director of Aegis Trust in charge of Kigali Genocide Memorial, Fredy Mutanguha, explained that educating teachers on the history of the genocide a positive direction towards uprooting genocide ideology.
Umwarimu niwe uhorana n'abana ndetse akagumana n'abanyeshuri igihe kirekire.
A teacher spends more time with students, same as parents when children go back home. So a teacher equips the children with information. I can also say that these children are the future of Rwanda. It is important teachers understand the history for them to teach appropriately so that students are enabled to fight genocide ideology even in the future.
Ndetse abo bana ashobora no kubaremamo kurwanya genocide n'ingengabitekerezo yayo mu gihe kizaza.
Israeli ambassador to Rwanda, Dr. Ron Adam, explained that teaching the history of the Jewish genocide and the genocide against the Tutsis is important to prevent future reoccurrence.
And before starting of the killing of the Jews in 1941, before starting the killing of the Tutsi in April 7th, it is a process. So the process were parallel, were similar, and we can learn in order to prevent, God forbid, another genocide. Because who could imagine that 50 years after the Holocaust, which was so much a process which you can learn about, who could imagine in 94 we will have the same process, the same genocide here in Africa. No one could imagine. And had we learned before 94 in Rwanda about the Holocaust, maybe it could have been prevented.
On 29th January, the 75th commemoration of the Jewish genocide, which claimed 6 million lives in a period of 4 years, will take place. This comes as Rwanda also prepares for the 26th commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsis, which claimed more than 1 million lives in 100 days only.